And I was like, I haven't done any of my own work. I haven't done any of my own grounding that I've been needing to do and show back up. And that was me lacking my discipline, right? I didn't check in every day because I've been having this, I had a new dog and I had new energy, and I'm like, oh well, it's fun, it's something new. And just because it's something new and I'm still exploring, I still got to ground, right? We still got to come back and we still got to ground down.
I really am so honored and blessed to be here with y'all.
It's an honor to have you. We are honored to have you because in this journey of life and where we find ourselves on our personal journeys, we need this guidance, and it shows us more and more that we're here for each other. Do you know? And I love how the universe has us showing up for each other. You know, even in the moments where we think, "Oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it today," it just yeah. We come always, every way, every day for each other because that's life. That is life. We heal in every moment. Someone told me when I was a little bit younger that it's not when things are always going good and everything's great. You're like, yeah, my life is perfect. Yes, yes, yes. He said it's when it's those times that you have your biggest challenges, those times that make you sit down, those times that really get you. They're like, woo. Whereas things are not, looks like it's not going too good. You know, it's challenging to get through the day. It's those moments too. You know, that's where we have our biggest moments where we grow. We do grow through what we go through. We grow through it. But then it's how we handle it, which we're going to learn about today. Keep getting ourselves aligned. What it means for us and our human design to help us maintain our alignment with the divine. Right? So when he opens up these portals for us, when it has these powerful moments, or even when it's like flowing, we always can be in that alignment because we want that flow, right? That's the flow. We want to stay in the flow, stay even. And in that, we have to be happy. Yeah, because you have to remember with our manifestations, we manifest all the time. We creating all the time. It don't stop. And we don't attract what we want. We attract what we are. We have to remember that. And that's why I'm so happy on Thursdays with Christine and every day to learn more and more about myself that I can go, oh, yeah, all right now. With this situation, Angela, you're only going to feel like this. So let's prepare for that. Or at least I can sit and talk with myself. You know, instead of just reacting, going, boom, oh my goodness, you know what I mean? I go, all right, breathe a minute. You know, this kind of gets you a little bit like that because your throat's going to tighten up. Don't get, you know, I can talk to my ego. I can talk to myself and calm myself down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 minutes instead of 3 days. 3 days of agony. It cuts the work down, don't it? It makes it a little bit better. You don't have to go through 2, 3, 4 days and nights of agony. I was just talking to a friend of mine, and he told me he hadn't rested for 3 days. And his mornings when he was up was just bogged with worry and stress. And I was really concerned because when I called, finally got to call, he looked like, I sad to say, if Death Door looked like anything, it looked like that. And I was like, all right, stop right now, sit down right now, and breathe. I instantly got him to drop into himself. Calm that mind of yours down before you do some damage. You know, and he was telling me in his messages, he was saying that, what do I take for this intense headache that keeps coming on? It keeps stinging. I'm like, oh my goodness. That's what made me call, because we were just texting. What made me call was he started asking for ways to stop stinging headaches. I was like, all right. You're not doing what you're doing is not good for the body. Let's bring it back. And knowing yourself allows you to stop all that nonsense. Don't even let it get that far. You can get yourself aligned. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 minutes. You'll be good. And I've seen others, Master Sherry Cautioner, do it faster than that. 30 seconds. You don't even see something. I didn't even know he got upset or anything or angry until he said it. It's not that I don't get angry. Just 30 seconds, boof. I'm like, woo! That's my goal. That's my goal. I don't know about y'all. That's my goal. I think I know about y'all. Yes, I know you want that too. I know you want that too.
I want 1 second. I want like, I'm gonna do. What was that? I don't know. I'm gonna keep it moving. I don't know. I'm gonna keep it moving.
I like that. I like that. I think I'm changing up now. I'm changing up a little with these eyes. 1 second sound good. 1 second sound good. Oh my goodness. Christine, are you settled? I see you walking through beautiful grass, pasture, and trees. Oh, beautiful. Anyone
Let,
today, please. Go ahead. What
let
you
me
say?
let me turn the camera around because I love this area. I am right on the water, but this one tree that I'm actually going to be sitting underneath is so beautiful. We have the willow trees, Miss Willow, all around. So I am sitting underneath this magnificent tree. I am harnessing your energy with me here, having your guidance, your support, but then I'll be teaching in this little gazebo here, but I am right in the marsh. So we are in the low country. We create some of the most unique ecosystems around down here. So this is actually all water, marsh, and grassland right behind me. But this area, I mean, where I teach yoga is, I'm truly blessed at this location. I do love it here. So that's why when we had a little time change, I was like, I can sit outside and it's 65 degrees today. It is gorgeous. And so I took my show on the road. I got my book, I got my card, I got it all with me. And I think it's actually going to be perfect. In 2 minutes, we'll be at 11:11 and I'll be able to sit underneath this beautiful tree. And I was talking with the ladies, for everybody who's joining us, about maybe doing a nice chakra grounding meditation, just taking a minute or two just to align our chakras first, and then we can really dive into our charts and kind of talk about that, which I'm excited because today we're in a new energy, and that new gate energy today is just perfect for the 11:11 portal because it is in our third eye. And so we are talking about our insight and harnessing our intuition, which it is a great day to really kick that off. And then we'll also have 6 days of that energy just from the transit to really work on it. But we will still have this portal energy too for days after as well. And so it's just been so beautifully aligned, as all is, right?
Yes. And it's amazing. Dee was speaking about earlier how the feeling the energy is feels like it's like on fire the whole time, right? And it's just gliding into the next and gliding into the next, and it's just getting powerful and more powerful. And then right after that, we'll be sliding right into the full moon next Friday. So it's just like this month November has been like on and popping.
On the pop.
Yes, on and popping. It's been kicking, but it's been wonderful. It's been wonderful to live in, live through, and to do. Oh, I like that. Hashtag everybody. Live in, live through, and do. There you go. Hashtag that in the comment box. I like that. Oh, thank you.
Woo! Make that an affirmation.
Yes.
Make it a journal prompt on how can I live in. Okay. put it on your manifestation vision board. Shoot. Write it on your mirror with a dry erase marker.
I like that. I like that. So you can see it. It is now 11:11. Christine, we are ready to reset this room.
All right. Morning, good morning. Let's go ahead and ground down, finding a comfortable seat. Let's close your eyes or soften the gaze. And take a moment to connect in with your breath. Breathing in through the nose, feeling the chest rise, and opening the mouth, letting it go, sighing it out a little. In the nose, and rising up through the chest, and opening the mouth, and letting it go. One more. Full breath in. And we open up the mouth and we let it go. Bringing our awareness into our seat, what is touching the earth, what is grounding us down. Seeing our red root chakra at the base of our tailbone. Seeing that light grow brighter with each inhale. Grounding down, connecting you into the earth as you exhale. As the light is getting bigger and brighter, you see that it is turning into a 1,000-point lotus flower. The strength, the beauty of the lotus alone, it knows how to rise through the darkest of areas, through the mud, day after day, to show up and shine untouched, which is the most beautiful part. It knows how to gracefully go through that darkness, how to trust the inner wisdom and rise untouched and shine. And see the root from that lotus flower coming down through your chair, through the earth, down through the layers in Mama Gaia, tapping down into the bright red center. And take a moment for gratitude. Send some gratitude down your taproot, thanking her for all of the gifts she gives us, for nurturing us, for protecting us, for supporting us, creating this environment for us to live, to survive, but ultimately to thrive when we can work one-on-one with her. And so we thank her and send her love. She reciprocates, sending us love back up, this bright red energy coming all the way up through the root, up into that lotus flower, making it bloom and open up even more. Stabilizing you, grounding you down here, opening you up. As you breathe in, you pull some of that energy up into your sacral. It turns orange. It's right below your navel. This is where our life force begins, our breath begins, our breath ends, our creativity. This orange bright ball, pulling up this energy. As we pull it up into our solar plexus, it turns yellow. Our confidence, balancing our emotions, finding our passions, stabilizing us, pulling up some energy from the sacral so that we have that strength to continue on through those passions. As we pull the passion up into our heart center, it turns green with gratitude. I'm grateful that we have connected and chose to follow our heart, to lead with love, because we know that we are all one. We are all one, connected by this love, this oneness. Our light shines bright. It emanates green as we are connected with one another. And pulling that energy up into our throat, it turns light blue. Letting us speak our truth, knowing that if we are coming from our heart, coming from our passion, coming from our root, our truth, our foundation, we can do no harm. The truth might sting for just a moment, but we realize that it is helping the other on their journey as it is helping us on ours, creating those boundaries that are needed, that are not selfish, but are needed for us to grow to our highest self. And so we pull that energy up into our third eye. It turns indigo. We harness our intuition. We trust our intuition. We trust our inner knowing, our inner knowledge. We don't need to convince anybody of anything. We know our truth is ours and their truth is theirs, and it is all beautiful and it is all one. As we pull this up into our crown, violet, We cleanse any self-doubt, any negative thoughts, anything that is just not serving us, that is bogging us through. We open up the crown portal and we connect up to Father Sky, this white beaming light, opening up through this 1111 portal, asking for the gifts of wisdom, asking for the guidance, asking for the patience to know that when the time is right, we will just know. We don't need to know how we will know, but we will know because we are connected, because we are listening, because we are opening. So we give thanks to our guides, to our spirits, to Father Sky. We let him know, we let them know that we are here, that we are ready, and that we will not rush the process, that we trust in all. And so we should breathe up and through the chakras of a red, orange, yellow, green, light blue, indigo, and violet, and seeing our whole body bright, colorful, aligned. We're ready for all the gifts that are here for us every day, in every way, in all ways. And taking another full breath in. And as we exhale, we start to close our portal to the crown, knowing that we're really just protecting that energy with this small layer. But when we are ready, those messages will come right through. So don't feel like you are shutting them off. You are just more protecting your energy, waiting for the correct messages that are for you. And taking another full breath in. And as you exhale, we slowly start to pull the root back up from Mama Gaia, thanking her yet again. And knowing that at any moment we can ground down through her. We can connect back to her. That she is always holding on and supporting us. And breathing in, opening the mouth and letting it go. You can start to make some movements back into your toes, and bringing some awareness back into your physical body. And feeling the chest rise as you take a full breath in. And it falls as you come back into the physical being that you are. No rush. As you are ready, we start to flutter the eyes back open.
Oh. Beautiful. Thank you. All right. Who's hosting? No, I'm teasing. Every time after we do such magnanimous, beautiful, beautiful realignment meditation, I'm like, it's really hard for me when our Queen Bee says, anyone have a question? I'm like,
So sit in it and
yeah.
just feel it. And it is hard sometimes facilitating and not knowing the amount of time, right? That some people just need to sit and to resonate in that feeling. And to know too that you can kind of just tune out any voices that you do hear, and that is part of the practice too, right? In a perfect world, we could all just be in a meditation state and be in our own quiet time, right? I tell my students the best practice coming off the mat is how to quiet ourselves and to come within when we have all the extra noise. And so it's been helping me that even if you kind of like to sit quiet just a couple moments, then this is a chance to empower yourself. The one challenge to keep those voices kind of toned out. Right? and or maybe you got what you needed for the moment, and you take a little walk and then you come back. And that's honor the power within, right? Not that I want anybody to leave because we have a show today, but I have to do what we have to do to honor ourselves and know that the replay is here, and to know that we shouldn't be forcing ourselves through any part of this. And that's a realization. It has to be realistic that we say that too.
That's it. And as you said, the key word, it's the realization, you know? And don't have the fear of missing out on anything. Do exactly what your intuition tells you. Even if you were watching this show, if you had to leave for a minute and go, yes, and see the rest on replay, that's what your spirit's saying. That's what you do. It's simple. It's as easy as that. It's as easy as that. You know, and it's another thing about putting yourself first, trusting and loving yourself. You know, you're telling divine, yeah, I love you, and I thank you for telling me that, and you're following. Like Jessie was saying the other day on Monday, she said, "When I move, you move." That's what our spiritual guides are saying. When I move, you move, just like that, just like that. That's it. It's the gunk and stuff that we have on us that makes us think otherwise. But once you start clearing that away and polishing up and getting buffed, you know, with love and holy feel of every kind, then you be like, oh, all right then. Then you get to see it. Then you get to see it. So that's a good segue into that. Today is about a day of quieting your mind. All right. Coming into positivity. All right. So you can manifest. Take advantage of this powerful moment and this powerful portal of alignment. 11:11. Everything is aligned today. Whatever big manifestation that you want to have occur and come about, be brought about, these are the things that you need to do to help them along, or some of them. Some of them. And the first thing is getting into your breath and not quieting your mind and preparing yourself to stay aligned and being positive. That's what I said in the beginning. Be happy today. Get happy. Get those butterflies in your stomach while you're thinking about that thing that you are manifesting. Because yes, you are a manifesting beast, every one of you.
Did you see that I pulled peaches this morning, right, for positivity? My couple. Okay, so I just wanted to make sure that we saw that we needed to have some positivity in order to manifest. That we did get some peaches this morning in that deck. Oh, it's so beautiful. And then we also got integrity though too, and I think that really does play about what we're talking about. If your guides are saying, just like Jeff said, move, I move. That comes with that integrity of honoring ourselves and not feeling the external pressure of I should be doing, even though it is the portal. And I've struggled sometimes with this of even just this morning about doing the meditation with the group, you know, like, and I was ready at this certain time and I wanted to do this, and this is this big energy, and I need to, you know, and I had this expectation of how it should be done because this is the portal and it's the magic day and we got to have this big ceremony. But realizing that not everybody needs to have a big ceremony, that Jessie says all the time. She goes on her walks, like, go for a walk, that you don't need to do some of these big extravagant things in order to get some of the messages. And so have whatever you're doing, do it with integrity rather than forcing because, oh, I should be doing this. Let me squeeze it into my schedule when you're ended up creating anxiety or doing whatever, right? And you don't have that positivity. You don't have that mind. You don't have that good energy going in it. And so we have to make sure that we have all of the pieces into play, right? When we do want to manifest, we need to have the mindset and the positivity and that intention when we go in, or else we're kind of just being counterproductive when we're trying to just force it. We should just take that time to do some self-love or to look into the darkness or to pull out some whatever we need to. And that's what Spirit's showing us too. Spirit's showing us that we're not manifesting it quite yet because we still got some work to do.
That's it. And intent. The intent. You said another key word, your intentions. You're setting your intentions in this moment, you know, and in gratitude and love, you're setting all the intentions of how you want to do it. And then it's not just about sprinkle fairy dust. And it comes. It actually takes action. You know, the word attraction, like Master Sri Krishna says, it has the word action in it. It takes us to do something. It takes us to move and do, but then you have to figure out, what am I supposed to do? There's a beautiful question. Christine already asked it. How? Love that. Love those question sentences that start with the word how. How do I do this? So now you're in divine alignment with your spirit guides, and you know what it is that you want, and You set your intentions of how you're entering this space. And then you say, all right, now how should I go about doing this? And now you write, now you're going back to you, because you always journal. You're going back to your journal and you write. As the Spirit Carter says, write it down. Make yourself an action plan. And I was taught when I was younger to set principles of action and then see that you ever act according to it. So you got to write it and then make sure you do it. Make sure you do it. Now you are your own parent. When you were younger, you had your parents saying, "All right, I want you to wash the dishes," and they came back downstairs to make sure you were washing the dishes. Make sure you stayed on point. Make sure you did what you're supposed to do. But now we are our own parent, and this is what we're supposed to do. Don't just set it, let it sit and gather dust. My teacher used to say, "Open it up every day, see what you have to do, and make sure that you get it done." And that's discipline and strength that comes along with that. So it's a lot. It's good. It's a good path.
All I heard was discipline and self-love, and everything that happens around us is constantly evolving, and we have to tap into that mindset to where I am never still. I'm always evolving, and then that will cause you not to just be stagnant. You know, water moves, air moves, the earth is moving right now. We're moving. Our cells are splitting right now. We are moving, right? So just tap into that. Tap into that, and then it won't ever be that I can't do it or the fairy does. You know, you'll do those steps. Do those steps. I also want to say, Christina, I love your laugh. I love your laugh. I love your laugh. Every time you laugh, girl, I'm like, oh, it just brings me joy. So keep doing it. Don't stop.
I think that, that's because I love your laugh. And I think that that's why we attract that, right? Because we always pick out the things that we like about other people. That's fun. That's so interesting that you said that, because I love your laugh. And I know that I've told you that before. I love hearing it on voice clips. It really does brighten up my day. And so thank you. I've been told I have a very distinct laugh. And it's what it is. I've learned to love it over time, right? But talking about discipline and, self-love, like that's a really great segue for our gate that we're in today. And so the gate energy that we came into today is the gate of insight, right? And so it's gate 43 coming from our third eye. And so that discipline, that self-love, that inner knowing is really coming from our intuition. And especially when we talk about discipline, to me, that's like, when you said that, something that word kind of makes me cringe. And I'm gonna be honest, like there's been such a heavy masculine tone to it. And I think that a lot of times people take it out of context, especially when we're trying to manifest. And that sometimes that discipline turns into that forcing, and then we lose that energy and we lose that vibration, right? And so to me, when I say discipline, I say that discipline, and it means even the word consistency of the discipline of listening to me, right? And to show back up and listen to me, and to listen to what I need every single day, and to not fall into the discipline of what's whoever the outside structure is, right? Because when I start to say, oh, I'm going to be disciplined and I'm going to go to yoga every single morning, and this is what I'm going to, I feel like that almost military type structure. And I think brother's part of the military. When I think of discipline, I think that it has to be the same thing every single day, right? And that like makes my pearl, because I'm a 1-3. I'm meant to explore. I'm meant to do things differently. And so if you're going to tell me the same thing every single day, I'm going to be like, no, oh my gosh, no, I can't. And so I have to realize that this just happened to me yesterday. I had to really come back and realize I had a really hard week, and I was going through transitions, and I had a dog there, and I stopped and paused, and I was like, I haven't done any of my own work. I haven't done any of my own grounding that I've been needing to do and show back up. And that was me lacking my discipline, right? I didn't check in every day because I've been having this, I had a new dog and I had new energy, and I'm like, oh, well, it's fun. It's something new. And just because it's something new and I'm still exploring, I still got to ground, right? We still got to come back, and we still got to ground down. So to me, that's my discipline. And I had that realize, and I made and then you say the action. And so I've been telling myself, like, I need to do this radical action, because what I'll end up doing is like, well, Christine, you haven't been on your yoga mat all week. And so I'll be like, yeah, you're right. I have this conversation. I'll be like, yeah, you're right. I shouldn't. And then I just talk about it, and then I do nothing. That means, no, Christine, get off your butt and get on your yoga mat right now. Right? That's what I'm telling you, that you haven't done any yoga. And so it doesn't matter what time it is. Right now, you're having this realization. You're not doing anything other than sitting on the couch. So you can go to your yoga mat right now. And so that's what I did last night. And I wanted, and about you taking those actions. And that's the same for, like, I want to take the radical action when I realize it. Like, I don't need to beat myself up for not doing it all last week. But now that I realize it, then do it. Right? We don't have to have that battle within ourselves. We don't have to be like, well, I should have noticed that 3 days ago. Maybe then I've been this crazy biatch to my partner and snapped at him and whatever. Oh, well, that was a lesson, right? That was the spirit trying to tell me, my guide's trying to tell me, Christine, you're getting snappy. And I didn't listen. And so yet again, they're going to say, Christine, are you listening? Yeah, right? And so I just wanted to kind of break that up, because that's something that's a trigger in me. And so I would just had to work through that, because language right now has been really, is where I began my journey, because my language was so bad to myself that I had to really start with that. And so sometimes when I hear other people talk, I almost need to, I loved, Dee, yesterday you said understand, overstand, and understand, right? And how I loved, though, how you had to describe it, say it. And I feel like sometimes you do say definition, because that's how we're going to grow and evolve, right? That we can break down some of the language so that we have more clarity, so that we can be more truthful in what we're saying, so that we can elevate quicker. Honestly, I feel like if we can speak it in a more clear way, so that everybody, we don't have any of these assumptions or any crossing paths, right? We all vibrate higher and we all move faster. So sorry for that little segue.
No, that was fire. That was fire, 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 pants on fire. Because, okay, I've spent like pretty much 47 years of life, well, not when I was little, but you know what I mean, of life, assuming I knew what other people were talking about, assuming that I knew what they were talking about. And I would never ask questions, because I would merge their definition or whatever they were saying into my definition of the word. And that has gotten me into so many fights, so many, I've been hurt physically, I've been hurt emotionally. It's been so much. So that's why, Christine, yesterday when I was speaking, I was speaking of those words, and I shared my definition, and then I said, find yours. And then speak your truth, because you cannot assume. Because, Christine, you could be outside, the sky's blue, you can see teal. I could see fuchsia, or you know what I mean? It's perspective, but I won't know. And then I cannot hold you accountable. I cannot hold you accountable because I perceived something that you said totally different, right? So words are so important. Definitions of words are so important, is what I meant to say. So I'm glad that you said that and brought that back, because I've learned the hard way. Learn from me, boo. Learn from me. Speak your truth. Figure out yourself. Become aware of what you like. Like Christine said, the word discipline used to trigger her, and it was her emotional attachment in or something kind of programming. But then she said, you know what? I'm about to transmute this right now. This is how I'm going to see discipline right now. And she made it work for her. So do that with everything in your life, guys. Everything. Make it work for you. Find who you are. Be who you are. Okay, I'm back in the chat. I love you.
It was a literal hell for me trying to do it like other people, because I'm an explorer just like Christine. My mother used to say, well, because I did a lot of stuff, you're I don't like that thing. That's why I can't remember it. You do a lot, but you don't master nothing. I don't like it so much, I can't remember it no more.
Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades. Because I love exploring. I love doing, oh, that's nice. I like this one too. Oh, I like that. So I realized with my human design makeup that I had to fashion it according to me. So on my chart of what I have to do in my journal, I wrote down, Angela, movement is life. You have to move. So then I'm like, all right, look at all my all my little goodies I got in my bag that I can move. I could walk, you know what I mean? I could swim, you know what I'm saying? I could do my yoga. So I have all these juicy things. So then I do according to what my spirit is flowing. Like, oh, I need this today. I need the sun to hit your shoulders because I'm not feeling too good right here. So go outside and do this to hit your shoulders. And then I'm like, oh, that's nice. And I'm bouncing and I'm going. You know what I mean? The discipline for me is move. Last year, I spent hours, and it had nothing to do with the pandemic. I spent hours in a chair, calling myself, well, you're just creating, and I caused serious damage to my back. And the spirit said, yes, because you're not moving. Got up one day, went like this, went, and I couldn't move. I'm like, all right, forgive me instantly. Woo, what is this? And it's like, you aren't moving. You have to move. That. So
Yeah.
it has to be your definition, not someone else's. And remember, harmony. It's a flow. It's a harmony. It won't go against you. It'll go right with you. And so you'll know what belongs to you, what resonates, and it's all right.
It is, and the gate is 43 of insight, and this is actually what this energy is, letting us create and knowing, right? So it's to be comfortable and to trust our own epiphanies, right? Our deep inner knowing without doubting what you, to trust that when the time is right, you will know how to share what you know and serve your role as a transformative messenger who has insights that can change the way people think about what they know. And literally just what Dee and I were just doing, like sharing about, okay, this is my epiphany about the word discipline for me. That was her epiphany about understanding and how she had to explain that because she thought she was understanding people and realized it was making assumptions, right? And so that's why she dove down into that word and broke down that word so that she could make sure that she did have clarity in all of that. That was her epiphany. And she's like, oh my God, this is a perfect to share it, right? And the same thing for me. I was like, this is a great segue. And just to trust that knowing, right? To trust all of these little segues. And I think that's a great way. Like, people are like, oh, I'm so sorry I went on a tangent. And I think we have to learn to let that go because the tangent was really honestly probably the path we were supposed to be on, right? That's really the true thing we were supposed to talk about. Us just creating the starting point. We just needed to begin the talk, right? We just needed to start the talk and get it going. And then then we got connected because we got out of our head. We were letting our motor, our manifester, our throat do its job. And then spirit was able to connect in. And then we jumped in and said what we needed to say. And so we need to learn to embrace all of that and to say, okay, this is what we're supposed to talk about. And that's why I love coming on here because we never plan what we're supposed to say, because I feel like if we had all of these lineups or whatever, then we would get frustrated when these tangents kept coming because the tangents would really keep coming because that's what we're really supposed to talk about. We couldn't have planned what source wanted us to really say, you know? So, but that's to trust that. And so to master this is the ability to tap into new knowledge, understandings, and insights that expands people's understanding of the world, to align with the right timing and to trust that you will know how to share what you know when you need to share it. And so we can feel unbalanced though, when we start to have this like desperation, this frustration about having knowledge and wanting to struggle. And the only reason I wanted to share this piece is because this like really just hit home about this desperation, because I have been having a hard time communicating with my partner. And when we were on vacation in the Bahamas, like the first day, I was like, I want to leave. Like everybody's like messaging me, how's your trip? How's your trip? And I'm like, I want to go home, because there was a total miscommunication. Like, I'm like, I have been explaining my journey. I have been telling him all of the things that I'm doing. And it came to a point where I kind of let it go. And then I feel like I'm almost begging, like I'm so desperate. Like, why aren't you like, I get to that point of like begging and pleading. Like, I have showed you, I feel like I've given you all of these signs and I have shared all of this. I'm like, for the love of God, why can't you just see me? Right. And coming from this this place of desperation. And he said to me finally, and it always comes when we're the truth, right? And when we're just speaking of that earlier about the truth. And he's like, when you talk to me in that desperate tone, I tone out. When I hear that volume in your voice, it triggers me, because that was something he used to do. And he finally opened up and he shared that. He said, I would try to do things like subconsciously, like almost assume that people understood what I was saying, but I would never say it. And then I would get bitter. And then I would feel like, and then I would feel like I had to plead and beg, because I'd be like, well, I kind of showed you, but I never told you, right? And so people would never respond to him. And so he had to learn how to change that. And so he finally told that to me. And I was like, holy shit, like, wow. And I had to think about it, because I was doing it though in a way of almost trying not to be that nag, right? I didn't want to come from this authority of being like, no, I need this. I didn't want to put in this strong boundary, because I thought that was going to make me kind of seem like a bitch or seem controlling, or like Dee said yesterday about putting that line in the sand. Like, we don't want to like tell somebody, right? You almost feel like you don't want to be that authoritator, because we're this light being. We want to show love. But really, if we don't step in and show that power for ourselves, that desperation, that begging is really such a low, like, it shows that we don't have any respect of ourselves. And that person cannot respond to it, because they're like, he's like, I respect you more than that. Like, I listen to you at this high level. And so when you are talking at this low level of disrespect to yourself, because I'm disrespecting myself that way, he's like, I can't hear you. Like, and it's because I dropped down. It's not because he dropped down, right? I was the one that dropped down. And so this right here saying we're feeling that desperation, that frustration of struggling about what we need to share, then we're not sharing it at the right language, right? It is not our freaking time to share it, or we need to step back and be like, hey, maybe they got to learn it in a different way, or I got to say it in a different way, or I got to put my boundary in. Why am I feeling so desperate? What power did I give away that I need to take back? So sorry, that was just like and I'm not going to say sorry, because that is what I share. And that desperation was just like, bam. And so that is what I'm working on this portal right now. I'm going to send that desperation out, and I'm going to step in and put that boundary up. Right. Wow.
Exactly. When you drop the mic, boo, you drop the mic, okay? I'm in the chat like fire, and there's bombs in the chat. There's explosions all in the chat, Tiffany, and stuff. Oh my gosh. I heard so much when you were speaking, because when we don't, wow, he said, I can't hear you because you drop down and you begin to disrespect yourself. So I couldn't even hear you. I can't respond to you when you're in that state of desperation, my queen. That's what he said to you, boo. Wow. And then his transformation. He was aware of himself and how he was assuming things and doing all those stuff too. And wait, let's wash our brains, queens. Respecting yourself is not being a bitch or and I probably won't say this word again, okay? Because trust, yesterday and today, the only 2 times you're gonna get the word bitch out of me. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, so it does not mean that you are aggressive or that you're not pliable or that you're disrespectful. No, it means that you love yourself and that you are worthy and that enough to where you can set those boundaries. Because what if Christine said to him something and he didn't accept it? Should she stay? Or is it a beautiful thing that he showed you or showed her how he was? And at that point, you have the choice to stay or to go. So, because what I heard too was abandonment, because we also do not do lines in the sand because you don't want them to leave you, or I don't feel that I'm worthy for someone else, or You know, all types of stuff I heard when she was speaking. So listen, and ask yourself those questions. Journal these things, guys, queens, goddesses, empresses, priestesses. Journal this stuff and take advantage of this portal right now, of this portal and the one that's about to come up as well too. It's just magnifying together. They're just on fire. So wow, Christine. Woo!
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, you're totally right about like even the abandonment. And I feel like that's why a lot of us like that people pleasing and all of that, like we have been kind of taught, raised in that of, you know, pleasing other people, and it almost creates that codependent, creates that as those abandonment issues subconsciously when we were taught that, oh, we have to make sure everybody else is happy. And then when people just aren't showing that happiness toward, like, okay, what did I do wrong? And we start to take it personally, right? And so let me tell you, if you have not read Four Agreements by Dave Ria, Carlos Ria is the Four Agreements, that book, like, don't take things personally, like, right? Like, not all about taking things personally. Don't make assumptions. Oh my God, you know, your best, come from your heart, and to speak your truth. He says, "Speak with your impeccable word." But I mean, those like agreements and all of that, if we can start to honor that, that's really how we can set those boundaries and set that respect up for ourselves.
Yes, absolutely. That, whew, amazing. That wow. That set my mind on fire. That set my heart on fire. Especially when he had said, I hear you and I respect you. And he could tell when you went. And that made me think, what times in my life did I go and was in that space? And I was wondering why people weren't listening to me, you know, or respecting me or hearing what I had to say. And I took that for, I was like, oh man, nobody loves me. No, I wasn't loving myself. Ooh, that touched.
And you
That
know
hit
what? Said
straight
that
to my spine.
I even remember being a teacher, and I remember one day, like a couple of days, like, you know, like I taught kindergarten, first grade, you know, I got 30 5 and 6 year olds in my class. And I remember, you know, them coming back from recess one day. And even with that little bit of desperation, almost trying to beg, you cannot beg and plead to it. Like they know that you are handing them over your power, right? Like, especially with a little being like that. And as much as even as mamas, maybe your hearts are like, you are just at your end and you're just trying to like, please child, what can we do, what can I do for you? But realizing though that is an energetic read, and they understand energy at a pure level, right? And so when you do that, you are stepping down, and they can see that, they can feel that. And it never worked good in my classroom when I let 30 children realize that I have lost my power, right? And it's much like, oh, I'm gonna take advantage of this right now.
Oh my gosh. I have reset the room. I have,
Yeah.
this is not about to go down like that. Everyone stop.
Right.
Heads
Right.
down, breathe. And I'm like, what? Right now. And in that moment, I had to, because yes. They used to say they smell the fear. No, but
Yeah.
it is you giving that one. And children are so in tune, they know the second it happens. They can feel the atmosphere change and they go, all right, it's on, let's do something. And then sometimes they'll team up looking at each other with a little grin. We gonna get what we want now. Because who wants to learn math right now?
Yes. Right.
I'm laughing because you said sometimes they team up. Okay, Paul. Okay, Jimmy, Sally, come, let's get this together. Let's team up.
Yeah. And I've seen some teachers, God bless them, I felt for them. They would go crying to the principal, like, help me. I'm like, if you don't get back in there and reset your classroom right now, you know what I mean? But yeah, the desperation went out the window. It's just, yeah. Oh, they won't listen to me. I'm like, do you realize you're talking about 7-year-olds? Not really.
Right.
Not really. They like 110, 650, 395, and they're like, oh, she don't know. He's about to show her now. They are masters. They are masters. You know, and I'm like, come on, it's gonna be all right. Let's go back in and breathe. Go back in and breathe. It's something. Oh my goodness, you just brought back so many memories. I love them.
And And that what we have to do in all of those situations. In that situation, when I'm in that, even with my partner, and I'm feeling like he's not hearing me, and it's like, okay, I need to come back and breathe. What am I not hearing in myself, right? What am I trying to say that I'm not paying attention to? Why can't I give that to myself? So we all need to just come back, breathe, and walk away, and to do something for ourselves. Or go outside, go for a walk, be outside in nature, being outside, feeling the sun, feeling the wind on your face, like any of that you could ground down, and to do any of that. And so I have my cards here. We're getting close
Yes,
to our
we
call,
are.
right
9
on time,
minutes.
because I have to go teach a class. And so I actually brought my yoga deck today. I know I normally bring fairies, and it's funny because Jessie's always the one that wants the fairy card. She's actually not here with us. She's always with us in spirit, but I figured because I'm going to walk in and teach a class, I would pull a yoga card. But also too, I love how today we kind of shifted, not so specifically into human design, but realizing like it's all a piece of the puzzle, right? It's just another tool. It's another way that we can like implement into our lifestyle, right? This is really a lifestyle of awareness. It is changing our lifestyle, the way we view our perceptions. And this is really what started my journey was, and embracing it though as the full 8 limbs that it is, and not embracing it as this exercise of being on the mat. And so yoga was a lifestyle change for me. And when I started to switch those perspectives, and even when it's come about my diet and what I eat, and I make it mindful, like let me tell you, I eat for 2 days. I baked a cookie bar sheet thing, like, so it looked like a brownie pan, but it was chocolate chip cookies. I made that, and I ate that in 2 days with a thing of pizza, because I was like, I was just down, right? And I was just down, and I thought I was lazy, and I didn't want to cook, and that was just, what I was. But when I stopped and I still reflected on how I felt afterwards, I was like today, I was like, I need some fruits, I need some vegetables. Like, I know that's what my body needs. And so that awareness, though, it's the taking the pause rather than, again, not beating myself up, not doing any of that. And so it's a lifestyle change. It's the same thing with your design chart. Like, we've talked about this before. Like, don't dive in and have to read all of it and go down this like education spiral and this Google spiral, right? But check in every day and use it as a tool, and be like, I really want to speak something today, and I want to get live, or I have something I want to share, but I don't know how to say it. And maybe you look at your throat chakra, and you look at a gate that's defined. Or maybe you want to speak something about your emotions, and you want to look at your solar plexus, and maybe see if you have any of that defined. And so looking at this as a lifestyle, because that's what shifts us. That's what man, like, rather than I got to do this, when we have to create these lists of these things we have to and we should be, and that's that language, right? Like, that makes it like, it's a chore, it's a job. Like, we drag our feet, we procrastinate, we don't bring that fun, that joy, that play energy, as opposed to when we're creating, when we get the opportunity to do it. And when we're make it as a lifestyle, we are creating our life. We're like, hell yeah, I get to do 3 meditations today because I created my life online. I created it around, right? And so looking at those shifts and looking at all of that, and now looking at this yoga lifestyle, and how, what can we really pull from the yoga experience, from the yoga world, to raise us for our highness in this portal. And so let's see what we get today. Oh, I love this one. She's so pretty. Our Tejas, I'm probably going to pronounce it very, very wrong, but TEJAS. It's coming from the Ayurvedic practice. Look how beautiful she looks. Look at that blue. She's got that portal light up right behind her. It's kind of looking like she is in the portal herself, kind of like floating there. And so this, I think, actually has to do with our discipline, if I can remember correctly. 47. So this is the subtle essence of our intelligence and courage, our radiance and our glow. How beautiful is that? And so your intellect and your courage glistens in your eyes. You have a radiant glow to you that reflects your passion within. You are on this planet for a reason, and you are deeply committed to your higher purpose. You carry a spark of energy that uplifts those around you, and you are a natural born leader. As a warrior of love, you are committed to raising the vibration of this planet, even if it sparks controversy. By being your highest self, committing to your truth, you encourage others to do the same. Continue sharing your spark with others who have lost theirs. So beautiful. So beautiful, especially for you two flames and what you do and what you show up and do every single day. And so beautiful, but we have that. And that's this insight, that's this channel that we're in right now. And so we all have it defined in our chart for 6 days, as well as we have the power of this portal. And so don't put the pressure on yourself. Go do something that is fun, that is playful, you to just be in your body, in yourself. Don't care about what everybody else is doing, right? Just what you need to do. So that's my final notes, and I can't wait to see how you queens drop the mic and end this call.
Go ahead, Queen D.
Oh my gosh, I am like, woo! I mean, oh my gosh, I don't even know. I don't even know. It was so many downloads that I got, and so many things that I could hear and I could feel. And even hearing the trash truck outside, it's just so much movement. One thing that was loud and clear for me earlier was when Christine was talking about procrastination. I did a research on what's the root of that. And for me, it was fear. Fear of not controlling the outcome. Fear of what if this happens if I do this? Or what if I'm not enough to do this? It was so much fear and unworthiness and control around that. So make that your journal prompt today, guys. I'm all about journaling, okay? Basically what I'm saying, I'm all about becoming aware of who I am and why I do things. And I want to encourage you all to do the same. I want you to know who you are. I want you to, but you need to want to do that. So that's why we be like, okay, journal prompt this, journal this, journal this. And be honest with yourself with no judgment or assumption or no love. I mean, love yourself and just write it. Whatever comes to mind, write it. And you'll find, boo, you'll be like Angela the other day, 2 hours and a half in, and you're like, oh my gosh, oh, my hand hurts. She didn't even know it was at first because she was just in the flow and just letting it out. So do that. That's my last words.
That's what I want to say. Everyone, complete this day today being happy. Remember, love, light, and laughter. Have compassion for yourselves. As you're making your manifestation today, write them down and then set your plan of action. Love yourselves. Be with yourselves today and know that you matter, you count. And be easy on yourself. This is a learning process. And we're growing up every moment. Our biggest growth comes in the moment, not in the outcome. Don't stick to the outcome. Stick to what you're doing and give yourself a pat on the back. Give yourself some hugs and kisses.
I love you all. I love you. Thank you.
Mm. Bye, everyone. Have a great class, Christine.